Yeah, 모두 다 빨리 박수 쳐 기다리지 말고 서둘러 Reason that I'm back is to feed you raps I see that you up here below So fly
All right, Steve, something very interesting going on in the boxing world. The last time we saw Ryan Garcia, wasn't he knocking out Devin Haney or whatever, and he was the toast of boxing, and man, oh man, he was going to be a big star. Now he's getting arrested, and he put out a tweet, I'm worried I have to be at this weird hospital, and they are trying to give me medicine, and they have me on a hold for who knows how long. They will determine, pray for me, God help me. And he got arrested for vandalizing a hotel or whatever. What is going on here with Ryan Garcia? You've always been a bit skeptical of him. Anyway, you help me think this through, Steve.
Well, who's the piece of now? Now, when they talked about vandalizing that hotel, I thought maybe he was playing his own music a bit too loud for everyone's liking. You know, I've always said this. The genius of Ryan Garcia and his ability to manipulate social media and his minions is to be the smartest dumb person. And that's what he is. He's like a cult leader and who has been able to basically gain a leadership position with a lot of jock-sniffing groupies that'll take him at his word. I mean, think about what has happened since he beat Devin Haney. He did knock him out. He did knock him down 3 times, won that fight decisively in what I believe is a tainted victory. Failed a drug test. And then he goes on all these conspiracy theories, him and his father, old Henry, my old buddy. They blame Victor Conte. They blame VADA. They blame the supplement company. All of that is falling apart. But here's the thing. They were able to manipulate certain members of the media and the YouTube community who are basically falling in line because he's useful to them, because he brings in hits. And now you take a look at his overall behavior. Look, here's where he tries to have it both ways, Jason. On one end, and this began a couple years ago, he cites mental health, that he was suffering from issues and that he'd be an advocate for it. But then when you brought up his mental health for this past fight, he'll tell you, no, I'm not crazy. You're not allowed to do any evaluations of me. This was all an act. So we're talking about a mental health advocate who mocked his own mental health in the name of promoting a fight. Okay? So, hey, I'm not crazy. I'm crazy like a fox. I'm smarter than all of you. Now all of this happens, and his representatives, who are the biggest jock-sniffing enablers I've ever seen, they are now putting out statements saying, he's going through a very tough time because of his mental. Well, Jason, which one is it? Are you one flew over the cuckoo's nest or not? Make up your mind. We'll make up a decision, and we'll go with that. But get your story straight.
Isn't he Oscar De La Hoya? Isn't he an Oscar De La Hoya guy? And shouldn't he? Oscar was pretty good with PR and promotion, had a good reputation as a fighter. It seems like, no, is that, what am I missing here?
He is a Golden Boy Promotions fighter. He's been so for about the last 6-7 years, okay? But it's been a very tempestuous relationship. They've had a lot of public beefs. They've had some quarrels. They've gone back and forth on a lot of different things. I would not say it's the most harmonious relationship. But because Ryan Garcia is a lucrative commodity in the sport of boxing, you put up with it. But I even think within the inner walls of Golden Boy, they're thinking to themselves, is this worth it? Because let's face it, he's not fighting all that much. He's fighting once or twice a year. And then when he loses to Tank Davis, he blames Golden Boy for not protecting him. Now, let me give you some context on that, Jason. He basically would not allow Golden Boy in the fight against Tank Davis, who fights this Saturday, by the way, he allowed them to put in an unnaturally low catch weight of 136 pounds, which really drained Ryan Garcia. Then he also said, I'm not going to even let Golden Boy negotiate on my behalf, because then they also put in a rehydration clause, which hampered Ryan Garcia's ability to recover for that fight the next day. So all of those things were basically railroaded through by Ryan Garcia and his lawyer, Lupe Valencia. And then when he loses the fight, he gets upset that Golden Boy didn't do more. See, this is my biggest issue with him. And Jason, look, I've had a very up and down, mostly down relationship with Ryan Garcia. But let me tell you what happened about 3 years ago. He had a fight scheduled for the summer of 2021 against Javier Fortuna. Good fight. And all of a sudden, a press release or a social media post was made by Ryan saying, I'm having mental health issues and I'm going to drop out of the fight. And everybody groaned. Now, in this age of access journalism where everyone has to act as a PR flack and a flunky, I made the mistake alongside Mario on our show, The 3 Knockdown Rule, of actually saying, well, wait a minute. You live your life in a fishbowl. You put everything out on social media. And on that same weekend, Jason, this is what I thought was incriminating and incredibly phony. The day after saying that he had mental health issues, he's putting out or is a part of social media Instagram stories where he's on the beach in Hawaii with a nice young thing. Really? So so the question that we had was, well, wait a minute. If you truly have a mental health issue, why are you not at the Betty Ford Clinic, but why are you in Honolulu having a good time, taking pictures and, being with the nice young sweet and tender? Why? So you just ask these questions. The next thing you know, all of Ryan Garcia's team, they hate me. Mario is getting spam messages from the momager, Lisa Garcia. I mean, this lady must have a typewriter taped up to her, hooked up to her cell phone. I've never seen anyone put in long text messages like that were sent to Mario. These things were like the damn preamble. And I'm like, I told Mario, give me the phone. I was going to say something. Mario wouldn't let me. He's a class act. So these are the things that have always made me skeptical, in a sense that if you are a mental health advocate, number one, why are you using a tool as like your mental health and your own behavior to promote a fight? And number two, why are you only bringing out, quote unquote, this card when it's convenient? And that's the issue that I have with this whole thing in regards to Ryan Garcia.
More or less marketable on the other side of this, or no impact?
Look, the kid's a genius. He's in the news. I mean, look, Saturday is when this story came out. Okay, so most of the boxing world, we're all looking forward to watching Xander Zayas and Bruce Carrington fight on ESPN. But can I tell you something? When the TMZ story broke that, hey, Ryan Garcia was arrested, for about 3 hours, all we were tweeting about was this. I mean, look, if you were to do a Google search in terms of what was trending, Ryan Garcia or the fights on ESPN on Saturday night, given his profile, Jason, you know which story was the bigger trender. You know which one got the bigger headlines. You know which story had the bigger hits. In a way, well, okay, Caitlin Clark's a little bit different, though. Caitlin Clark's she's bigger than the NBA Finals right now. I have got to give the CNC Shot Factory some credit, okay? But here's the thing that's interesting, Jason. In a way, it's very, very ingenious. And I don't even know if Ryan meant to do this. Here's the thing. We don't even care about the failed drug test anymore, Jason. We don't. And when we talk about Ryan Garcia, there's probably 18 different things. The failed drug test is probably about 16th at the moment.
Thank you, Steve. Needed the insight and wisdom. Thank you so much. We'll see you guys next time. Like what you saw? Hit that like button, subscribe, and check out the full episode by clicking the link below.